Here we are. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? So, I'm going to go on a rant tonight. Many topics. We will go over a bunch of stuff. At some point, I just called Hella. She didn't come back in yet. So, I got to get up here in a minute and just check and see where she's at. So, I don't want her out too long. It's pretty cold out right now. Let me see. I'll tell you exactly what the temperature is at. We're 20 degrees outside, so I don't want her out there long by herself. So, she was in and she started jumping on me about 2 minutes ago, going, "I want to go out. I want to go out." So, anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope your weekend was good. Got some cold weather happening around the country. Chickens are fine, DJ. Chickens are doing good. They're not really laying. Uh, she is looking for her missing puppies. Oh my God, will you freaking stop? Seriously. Let me explain something to you. Maybe you don't know, maybe you don't understand. So here's going to be part of the rant, right? Dogs for thousands and thousands of years have been having puppies. Probably a million years have been having puppies without human interference, too, by the way. Okay. And what happens is at some point, the dogs will wean the puppies away and not feed them anymore, and they have to get their own food. The only difference is now we have human involvement in it. Okay, so that's the only difference. But the puppies are doing fine. They're good. She does she still take care of her puppies? Absolutely, yes, she does. Okay, but she's drying up, guys. She has not been feeding them. Uh, Mom, I'll tell you in a second. I'll talk about mom too a little bit. Um, So anyway, puppies are great. They're healthy. They're fine. They will be staying in the wolf's lair from now on. Okay. A second puppy today went. A couple came in from Michigan and picked up a puppy today. All right. So we are down to seven puppies now, and everything's fine. I'm keeping two puppies. I've already said that. So I have five puppies that are still going to be available to people if they're interested. All right. I did not breed Hella to just make money off of puppies. If I was going to do that when she was a year old, I would have been breeding her right from the very beginning and then breed her once a year. You wear a dog out when you do that, just so you know. Okay. I wanted at least one litter from Hella because she is the best dog that I've ever had in my life. And I wanted her offspring because German Shepherds are going to live about 12 years if you're lucky. Okay. And I wanted her offspring. I wanted her legacy. And that's why I bred her. Now, the bonus is she had a whole bunch more than just two puppies, right? Or three puppies or whatever. She had 10 puppies. One did not make it. So, yes, I'm going to sell the rest of the puppies. That's how it goes. Okay. I will probably utilize that money to start building my own place. So, yeah, it's a bonus. So, but in May, I may breed her one more time. If I do, it won't be this year, right? It might be next year. Let me call her again. Hold on 1 second. Come on, girl. Bella girl. There she is. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. All right. Good girl. All right. So now so there puppies are doing great. So here's a weird concept too, okay? Puppies are going to poop and pee. It's weird, I know. Probably I'm like the only person it's ever happened to because of the way that you people act, some of you. But yes, puppies actually do pee and poop. It's a weird, weird thing. And they're not trained, you know, to to be able to go out and do their own business. It's weird. I know. I don't understand it either. So yeah, they pee and they poop inside. It happens. God, I tell you. I just want things to go back to normal. I want to be able to get a normal night's sleep. All right. Now, last night she stayed in here with me, meaning Hella. Okay. And the puppies were in the wolf's lair. Now, this morning when she was ready to go out, yes, she went right over to the wolf's lair. And so I let her in. She went in and took care of her babies, and everything was good. What I have done with both of the puppies that have gone, all right, just letting you guys know, which is none of your business, but I'll tell you anyway. I left her in the camper while the people went and picked the puppy and took the puppy. So she never saw her puppy being taken off by somebody, you know. But come on, stop, baby. Down, 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 down. Oh, down. So anyway, but yeah, so that's what's going on. I still have cleaning to do in the bathroom. It's way better than it was, but it's going to take me a while to clean everything that was messed up in there. But that's so a great lesson that I learned is never have puppies in the fall and early winter. It sucks. Okay. So basically, she just thinks that her baby just vanished. I don't know what she thinks. I don't know if she even notices, to be honest with you. She sees a bunch of puppies in there, and I mean, I really don't know. But they definitely. How does the camper smell now? Much better, Peter. Much, much better. It was bad. I'm not gonna lie. But when you have 9 puppies doing their business, and she was eating a lot of it. I don't know if you guys knew that. Anybody that knows anything about dogs, she will eat their pee and poo for quite a while. That's what they do. So they clean up after their own, the puppies. But puppies are eating on their own now. They're drinking water. So she has not been going in there and feeding them like she was before. So, but that's okay. So, but camper probably is better than the White House. Oh my God, that's funny. No, you haven't missed the rant yet. So that we're just talking about the puppies a little bit and people being a-holes about it, and that's fine. Here's the thing is, if you don't like, see, this is the part that really I never could understand, folks, okay? If you don't like my channel and you don't like me and you don't like how I'm raising my animals or taking care of my animals, then don't watch my freaking channel. Simple. And the other part, I'm going to remind people again, this is not a train station, right? This is not a train station. You do not have to announce your departure of how dissatisfied you are and, oh, I can't watch this. I'm unsubscribing. I don't care. I really don't. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. Okay. Yeah, right. Bye. Just kidding. Exactly. But that's the thing. And I've done that before. When people say to me, I'm unsubscribing, my reply, bye. See ya. Who cares? I don't care. Listen, if you like what I'm doing and you want to watch, fantastic. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. But I'm not going to sit here and have people say all kinds of hateful crap to me, right? Not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So, I will delete comments. And if people don't like that, oh, well, too bad, too sad. Again, you don't have to stay. I'm not forcing you guys to watch my channel. So that's part of that. I do want to rant big time on this issue that we're going to talk about right now. Talk about California for a minute, right? And I saw something today that a FEMA official was blaming the wildfires in California on climate change. Dude, I've had climate change BS up to here, okay? Here's an idea. Let's think about this. Could possibly part of the problem, which there are many in California, could possibly it be that piss poor forest management could be a factor, right? Not being able to clear brush, not being able to clear fallen trees because maybe we're saving the spotted owl or whoever they think that they're saving. So we'll go ahead and let hundreds of thousands of acres burn because you don't want to You don't want to do proper forest management. Anybody that lives in a forest or has land with a forest knows, especially if your trees are pine and cedar, right, which are like big old matches waiting to happen, um, you need to make sure you're keeping your stuff squared away. But they won't let them do that in California. And the other problem with out there is see the last 2 years they can't say, oh, we're in a drought and we don't have any rain or don't have any water. They've had a ton of water. And what have they done with it? We'll release it into the ocean, right? Don't save it. Oh, don't save it. Heaven forbid that you would do that and have huge reservoirs of water available to you to utilize the way that you need to utilize them. Screw the farmers that need the water for their fields because now you're saving something else, right? Stupid, stupid guys, just unbelievably stupid. But newsflash: a layered satellite map release indicated that the polar ice has increased by 26% since 2012. Well, that doesn't fit their agenda. This is global warming. What we're about to face as a country with this weather, that's global warming. Didn't you know that? And here's the other thing. Let's go. We're gonna stay in California for a second. And when you have insane lunatic people out there starting fires, right? Um, with this dry tinder everywhere, and then the raging winds, which they get every year, um, what do you think is going to happen, right? I mean, they caught. There's video of they caught a guy with a blowtorch starting fires, and the neighbors tackled him because the fires weren't in their neighborhood. The neighbors tackled the guy and waited for the police to come. The guy was starting fires. So you have a combination of lunatics, right? And they don't. So listen. There's a lot of great people in California. I'm going to say that before I say this next part. A lot of great people in California, but they don't call it the land of the fruits and nuts for nothing, okay? Right? You ever heard of that? So, think about that. Why do they call California the land of the fruits and nuts? I don't know. Maybe there's some semblance of a reason for that. It's just when you have states, okay, like California, like New York, that because of the cities and these morons continue to vote morons into office over and over and over and over and over again. And those morons that they're voting into office don't do things better. They make more and more restrictions and all that type of thing, right? You're not going to ever have a change of things. You're never going to have a change of things. So um, it's just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like New York State, okay? Once you get away from the cities, New York State is very, very conservative. A lot of good people in New York State. It's just that when you have uh, the liberals in the cities are voting in the liberal leaders, and they have an agenda, and they've always. It's just like Eric Adams right now, New York City. He's under investigation for corruption. Wow, that's a shock. A politician in New York being under investigation for corruption happens all the time, right? So it's insanity, guys. The mindset needs to change. Everything needs to change. I'm like so tired. Why do you care, Dixon? I'm not going to answer your question number one, but how whatever happens in the county that I live in, how does it affect you? Okay, how does it affect you? Right? But the other thing, guys. So we have the inauguration coming up, and Trump is going to be sworn in as the new president, which I can't wait to see happen. Is everything going to be great overnight? Nope. What you have to understand a couple things, and again, this is more a part with my rant that I want to go on here. You think that the president is the one truly making all the decisions, right? Who really runs this country? Think about it a second, okay? Who really runs the country? Big Pharma, the oil companies, the insurance companies, right, and the power companies. That's who runs this country, folks. When you have laws in Florida, which has so much sunshine most of the time, and they can't go off grid down in Florida, people are not allowed to go off grid. I mean, that whole state should be nothing but people being off grid. And it should be incentivized to do so because they get so much sunshine. But could the big power companies make any money if people were all off grid? No, they couldn't. So, I mean, we don't want to have that happening. So, laws are enacted. I'll give you an example. When I lived in Greece, New York, okay, when I lived in Greece, New York, and there were really a ton of restrictions in that town of Greece. I could not put up a wind turbine if I wanted to. It would never be approved in there because of the way that the whole thing was set up. So when you have these towns doing all these different things, let's say if you guys remember, I think it was Florida where this actually happened. The lady lived in a town, right? And so she decided, I don't want to be hooked up to the municipalities anymore. So she stopped paying. So then her power was shut off. So what were the laws at that point, right? So she's using rain catchment to get rain because it does rain a lot in Florida too, right? So so she's doing that. And then she wasn't part of the power grid. She was doing her own solar and power. So what did they do? Because she was not hooked up to the municipalities, her house was condemned. So they got her out of there because she wouldn't play ball. She wouldn't go along with the system. And so who determines what, with that? Who determines that? It's just it's craziness. Absolute craziness. So I don't know if you guys saw too. A deal was reached with Israel and Hamas, and those deals are always so one-sided. It's ridiculous. Who benefits from those deals, right? Not Israel. Hamas benefits from those deals. They were releasing, I think it was like 1,400 prisoners, some of them that had been convicted of really bad crimes against Israel, to release, to secure the release of the hostages. So the three women were released today. Three were released today. So three women. One was a British woman, and the other two were, I believe, from women of Israel, were released. And so, will the ceasefire stand? We'll find out. Okay, I have my doubts. If you decide to go off grid now, I'd still have to pay the electric company $13 a month anyway. Oh, because of where you're at, Morning Light. Yeah. Well, it's so here's the way that the system is so screwed up now. We'll go back to the power. But anyway, you could have gotten all those hostages released, right? Really simply. You have this deadline. Here's the deadline to release those hostages, or we do scorched earth and we kill everybody. They would have done it. They would have done it. They might have waited a day or two and let a whole bunch of their own people die, but they would come to their senses really quickly and realize that people weren't playing around. You cannot play with these type of people, folks. You can't. You can't make deals with these type of people. And if they killed all the hostages, that's the sacrifice that you make as a nation to get rid of the garbage. Because now, with a ceasefire, is Hamas destroyed? Are they gone? No. And will they rebuild? Yes. And they'll use that hatred against Israel to do so. And these other countries will support them and give them more stuff. If Israel just went in there like they started to in the beginning and just destroy everything, that would have been great. And then take it over. Ceasefire's already broken, Tracy said. Okay. That wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. But we'll see what happens. Trump ain't going to play around. He's not a weak leader. I don't care if you like Trump or don't like Trump. Don't make one bit of difference to me. We needed somebody that the world fears. The world did not fear Harris and Biden. Okay, they did not fear either one of them. They fear Trump. They fear Trump. So it's simple. I mean, that's a simple. What do we got? 422 in the chat, guys. We're at 143 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that, and it really does make a difference with the algorithms. And thank you for that ahead of time. So continuing on with my rant, we're going to talk about a couple of other. Oh, and if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you very much. What do you think Trump will do with the Ukraine-Russia conflict? Well, I will tell you what I think Trump is going to do with that. Good question, Alex. I think he's going to cut off this funding to Ukraine. No more free money to do with whatever they're really doing with it, with no accountability. And did it really go to what it needed to go to? I doubt it, right? So that won't surprise me. If he shuts that down, and that war will end shortly thereafter. I think that's what's going to happen. So and so what was it? I was just going to say. Oh, okay. So here's my next rant. Okay, you have this situation with these fires in California, and it's terrible, and I feel bad for the people. But you live there, you know what can happen every year. You know the lunatic liberals left have put in laws that restricts you from doing things to be able to protect your own property. That's part of the problem. And when you're rebuilding your houses after these fires, why are you not building them to be prepared for a fire? Right? That's what I don't understand. I don't get that, but that's just me, I guess. If I lived in California and lived in an area that could possibly get forest fire or brush fires or whatever they get, my house would be built so solidly that it wouldn't catch on fire. So I don't get that, but that's just me. That's just my take on that. Uh, so now everybody wants to have a whole bunch of sympathy for California, right? And people want to have us send money to help with California. What about the people in North Carolina that haven't got their stuff squared away yet? What about them, right? What about the people that have dealt with other disasters that are still don't have things squared away, that are still trying to survive in these cold temperatures that we're having? Not very good. And where's all this money? Right? We pay a ton of money in taxes. I mean, I realize we're giving billions and billions of dollars to foreign countries, which we should not be doing when people are suffering here in America. That's something that really irritates the crap out of me. America needs to come first. It needs to come first. And here's what I find interesting. Like I said, I'm on a rant. This is going to be a rant video, guys. So they're talking about, oh my God, it's going to cost so much money to deport all these people that are here illegally. How much is it costing us to have them here, right? How much is it costing the American people to house and feed and medical insurance for all these illegal immigrants that shouldn't be here in the first place, right? Oh, it's going to cost, XYZ billions of dollars to deport them. Good. I don't care. Get them out of here. They don't belong. If you come to the country the right way, right? This isn't about race, guys. And of course, the left always wants to make it about race. It's not about race. It's about doing it the right way. When you have Europeans and people from other countries across the pond that are doing it the right way, going through the process and making, to become an American citizen, I got no problem with that. I don't care who they are. I don't care what country they're coming from. I don't care what color they are. But when you have a stream of millions of people coming into this country illegally, and our government is making sure that they're taken care of, and they're flying them in during the Biden administration. Remember that too, okay? They didn't just come across the border. The Biden administration was flying these people in, and then they distribute them all over the country, right? They're all over the place. They're not supposed to be here in the first place. So it needs to stop, because who's paying for that, folks? We are. We're paying for that. So it's insanity. That whole thing is insanity. So yes, deport them, get them out of here. Don't let them come back in. Build the wall. The wall. Oh, well, they're going to build the wall, and it's going to be to keep us in. Keep us in from what? This country is massive, massive country. If you want to disappear in the United States of America It's really not that hard, you know. So no, they're not going to. Whether some big event's going to happen and they're going to stop us from going in mass numbers to South America, I I very shocking if I ever saw that happen. I don't see that happening. It's just more lies upon lies and deception upon deception. It happens all the time. Walls prohibit wildlife migration. Well, then they can, Brock. They can stay in down there in the desert down there. Oh well. Why don't you use your well water in the winter? I could if I wanted to. I mean, the well is there. It's hooked up and it's ready to go anytime I wanted to get it going. I want to get a well house built first. It's a matter of having the plug it in to a generator, and it would be good to go. That's all I need to do with that. But if I have rain catchment, I don't. I personally am not using a tremendous amount of water. So, and the thing is, if I had you started using the well, I would want to have a storage tank for the well, and I do want to get a storage tank for the well, and I want to have that underground. So there is definitely things that need to be taken care of. So, uh, but yeah, I mean, it's like and again, so you got people like that. They're like, well, if you build that wall, the wildlife can't, get. It's in the desert, guys. There's not a lot of wildlife migrating in the desert, just so you know. But that's okay. So that's okay. So how long? Here's a question. How long after Biden leaves office do they put him in a home? Well, they would never put him in a home. They would have private caregivers coming to take care of him wherever they decided to hide him from the public. So I don't think Biden's going to go on any speaking tours. I will just put that out there. That's a guess on my part, just a guess on my part. But I don't know, guys. It's yeah, the smelt won't be able to walk over the wall. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You do what you got to do. I mean, if they're, like when they do like land bridges for animals, where they build roads, that's different. I got no problem with that. Build a land bridge, let the animals migrate and stuff like that. But when you're having an issue that's costing the country, and people are forgetting how many people in this country, right? The cartels in Mexico basically are controlling a lot of stuff on both sides of the border, folks. People are being paid off all the time. Drugs are coming in, and what are those drugs doing? What is that? Who is that fentanyl hurting? Right? Who is that fentanyl hurting? And think about this: an entire generation of young Americans are dead because of drug use, because it's being allowed for these drugs to come into the country. I mean, think about that. Think about that. It's just, do you have a favorite puppy? I actually have the one female that I like that I'm keeping, and I have one male that I really like, and he's a Spitfire. He was the only one that was climbing over the barrier, so he was the only one climbing over the barrier to get. Hey, JJ, would you delete those? I'm so sick of this stupid crap again. So about the thank you very much, and so uh, he's the only one climbing over the barrier and coming out over here. So he's a keeper because he's smart, and I like that. Oh yeah, Yvonne, there you go. The child trafficking. There's another one. Absolutely, absolutely. So, but this, there's so much crazy nonsense going on that's unnecessary in our country. It's going to be nice to have somebody. Oh, so let's talk about now. People are not now lining up to kiss Trump's behind, right? The special prosecutor that was going after Trump, he just resigned. You have all these people that weren't on the Trump train, if you will, now all of a sudden jumping on the Trump train because now he's going to be here for the next 4 years, right? That's if they don't do something to him. Okay, that's if they don't do something to him. Oh yeah, you're so funny. You know what, JJ? Would you just block him altogether for me, please? Just get rid of that individual. See, that's how it works. The best way to stop corruption is to make it the fastest way for a billionaire to become homeless, broke, behind bars, in a gen pop. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Well, and the thing is, who's benefiting? I mean, there's the other part, besides the child trafficking that's been happening straight along and all the kids that are missing. Besides that, who's benefiting from the cheap labor of illegals coming across the southern border? Who's benefiting? Big business, guys. Always follow that money. Always follow that money, you know, and you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out in a hurry. So it is unreal. So funny times, It's just world has gone crazy. We sitting back. Thank you, JJ. I appreciate that. Uh, People have gone nuts. I sit here and I just go, how is where? What happened to rational thought? Oh, so now let's talk about something else. I think I'm going to bounce around. I got a lot of stuff I wanted to rant about in this live stream. So once again, we're at 466 in the chat, guys. We got 208 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. Again, thank you ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Also, it really does help with the algorithms. Again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that as well. So I appreciate that ahead of time. So, legacy news media, right? Oh my God, they're going to still spin their stuff the way that they want to try to spin it, make it look like, you know, whatever. And the American people have just had enough. I think that's the reality. The reason that Trump won not only the popular vote, but blew her out in that presidential race, there was many reasons. And of course, people are going to try to make it about race and that she was a woman and all this other nonsense. Well, I would like to remind everybody that she was the selected candidate, not the elected candidate. And I think that grated with a lot of people in this country because of the fact that she didn't go through the process and was the elected candidate. They said, yeah, we're going to go with her and she's going to be the nominee, right? And they figured because she was a woman, and we're not even going to get into what her real true race is because there's been a lot of speculation about that. But we'll just say a woman of color, okay? Because there's obviously she's definitely has Indian in her. So anyway, you know, they tried to use that as the point. Why she didn't get elected because of that. No, she didn't get elected because people were sick and tired of what's happened to this country in the last 4 years. I love when they say under the Biden administration all these jobs were created. Well, wait a minute, wasn't there? The economy was booming under Trump, booming under Trump. People were doing well. They were, and then all of a sudden this mysterious virus came out and everybody had to shut everything down and businesses were closed and a bunch of people lost their jobs. And then she also ended up $20 million in debt. Yeah, how does that work when she had what, $1 billion to spend? $1 billion to spend. I'm sure none of that got siphoned off anywhere. I'm sure none of it did. You know, I'm sure that wasn't the case. But people, when you have the White House through this administration telling you how great things are and the economy's doing great and everybody's, but yet the average American citizen, their gas prices were too high, their grocery prices were too high, their utility prices are too high, the rent is gone bananas, all those things, and home prices have gone through the roof as well. It's just not affordable for people to be able to survive. So you're having a lot of people staying home longer, with mom and dad, or they just, they haven't really got a lot of a choice because they can't do it on their own. It's not like, when I was a kid, like I went right in the military out of high school. And when I came back, I had a studio apartment and I paid, I think it was back then, it was like $450 a month for a studio apartment. Well, I had a decent job. I was working for the state. and I was making money, and so I had my apartment, and I was good with that, and everything was fine, But it's just, you know, it's interesting the way that things are now. It's just not. You can't do it. You just can't do it. Car insurance. There's another one, right? What a rip off that is. When you have home insurance, and again, these insurance companies screwing people over left, right, and center. Ed, do you really think under Trump things will get better for you and me? Hard to say, Peter, to be honest with you. I mean, he's walking into an absolute mess. An absolute mess. I mean, Biden has done everything possible to jam Trump up before he takes office. Has spent, all this money, for their, whatever deals crap that they have. I want to remind everybody of something. Okay, if you guys remember when Obama was in office, right? Yeah, sabotage, exactly. So yeah, he's walking into a crap show, to be honest with you. So here's something to remember. I like to remember things because I like people to remember how things go. So Biden has just put all this money into this green stuff, right? If you guys remember when Obama was in office, there was these companies that they in millions and millions of dollars incentivized by the Obama administration to these different companies. And then right after that, what did all those companies do? Do you guys remember? They all went bankrupt. All those companies went bankrupt. I trust Trump about as much as I trust Ivan and Zuckerberg. And that's fine. You don't have to. I'm not saying you trust the guy. He's a politician. I mean, technically, he's a businessman. But will he do well for his family and shit and stuff like that? I was going to say something else. Sure, he will. Because they all do. Okay. I mean, when you have people buying Hunter Biden's paintings for $250,000, no, not all the puppies are sold yet. I have somebody coming Tuesday. I think that they're taking a puppy. And so right now I have 7 puppies left. 5 of the puppies are still able to be sold. So, but one's kind of spoken for. I'm pretty sure that person's going to buy that puppy. So I'm keeping 2, and so that means there would be 4 more to go. But yeah, it's like you know I oh if again, there's always people always say the lesser of two evils, right? Who are you picking? The lesser of two evils. Uh, the administration that's been in power has destroyed this country, absolutely destroyed this country, and so I'm absolutely very happy. Oh, so you think it was a Joe? You think it was a big cat? Because those were some pretty big paw prints. Now it could have been a big cat. I thought it was a bear. People were saying no, the bears are still hibernating, which wasn't thinking about that. But I just saw these big paw prints, and I knew they weren't Hellas. So it could have been a big cat. It absolutely could have been a big cat. So, but but yeah, it's just you know, I maybe a wolf. I don't know about that. Could be. Who knows? Who knows, Alex? But a lot of money's gone out. He's walking into an absolute mess, and it's going to take a while to fix things. I know he wants to get going with the drilling, which is great. The pipeline will get going again, which is also great. I don't think Trump will fail to clean things up from lack of trying. It will just be failure from lack of understanding what the root of each problem really is, and only tempt lessen them. Yeah, like I said, I think he's going to really try to get things squared away. Getting us back to oil independence is a big part of that. I really do think that that's important. This whole, uh, so here's an okay. So let's talk about all the sacrifices that people are making for the green agenda. We're going to get our carbon footprint down, to these smaller levels, and it's going to be great, and we're going to save the planet, right? Um, yeah, we probably got mountain lions up in this area. It could be a big cat. Wouldn't surprise me. So, but anyway, so America has to sacrifice, right? But in the meantime, right? In the meantime, China's going to build what, another 100 coal fire plants this year, right? And that's a it's a wash, folks. All the sacrifices you're doing, all the green energy that you're going to do, and jump on that bandwagon and get your electric cars and do all the sacrificing and be taxed, right? Be taxed because of your carbon footprint. But yeah, China's balls out, doing what they're going to do, but they don't have to be part of that whole agenda. Why do you think Trump pulled us out of that in the first place? Because it screwed Americans. Screwed Americans, Yvonne says you better be careful out there. Well, why do you think I always carry a gun with me, Yvonne? Why do you think I always carry a gun? But uh Ed, we had a mountain lion right in our woods, and it sounds like a woman screaming because it's being chased by our neighbor's dogs. Oh wow, okay. I know what, like, hell, being on patrol outside and stuff like that, it does help, um, with predators, as far as that goes. So, but there was, okay, so when I was in New York, I'll give you another example of something that was going on. Oh, wow, we're up to 502 people in the chat. That's awesome, guys. I appreciate it. Again, I'm going to do it real quick. If you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate it. It does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms, and I thank you ahead of time for that. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe again. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well, and I thank you ahead of time. And here's this poor abused dog. You can see she's just cowering away because she's underfed. What have I heard that? Well, that's one of the other ones I heard. Oh my God, do you feed that dog? She looks malnourished. Yeah, poor thing. I beat her constantly with a stick, and then she's very abused, as you can see. Poor thing, cowering away. Oh, talking about mom, I'll mention this real quick. So mom had a second surgery. They went back in and took out the rest of what did she have taken? She had a cyst um, in her thyroid. Okay, she had a cyst in her thyroid. So they took out half the thyroid the first time, took the cyst out. They ran the pathologies on the cyst. The cyst was cancerous. Okay. Oh yeah, I got RC Kev. I got it right here, brother. I cracked it earlier. So thank you very much for the donation, and I appreciate that. Now, I've been too busy ranting to to take too many drinks. But so anyway, so mom had to go back in and have a second surgery, and so they did the second surgery, and when she had the second surgery done, they took the lymph nodes on the one side as well. Okay, and they ran the pathologies on everything, and everything came back good. She does not have cancer. So, they're going to obviously have to regulate things because now she doesn't have a thyroid anymore, but she's fine. She's recovering. She's recovering much faster from the second surgery because it wasn't as evasive as the first surgery was. So, she's back home. Becky ended up staying with her for about 8 or 9 days till mom was feeling much better again. And Becky was there the first time and did the same thing the first time too. So I take my hats off to my sister because she was able to sit there and be with mom and cook for mom and take care of her while she was recovering. So that was really awesome of Becky to do that. And but yeah, so mom is good. She's 81, and when she hit 80, I had asked her. I said, "We making 90, mom?" And she looked right at me and said, "I don't see why not." And she probably will make it to 90. I hope she does. I think that would be awesome. Glad to hear, praying for mom. Thank you very much, RC Kevin. Thank you very much again for the donation. I do appreciate that. So, but Alex said, hopefully President Trump doesn't face war. I hope not. Hopefully, that's one thing that he is really, really good with is overseas diplomacy and stuff like that. And he'll squash a lot of that crap that's going on, and that things will get better. I hope. I want to remind people a couple things. Okay, You know, the media wants to make the boogeyman out of different things. Because remember when ISIS was the big, oh, we got to worry about ISIS. ISIS is the big threat, you know, and then they change it around, and then it's North Korea and it's Iran. All right. Let me explain something to you. Iran is not a threat to this country. Is Iran a threat to Israel? Oh, you bet they are. But Israel take care of their business. We give them the green light to go ahead and do that. We do that all the time. North Korea is not a threat to us in any way, shape, or form. Because if we got pissed off, seriously pissed off as a country, they would not exist anymore. Same thing with Iran. All right. A lot of people in Iran, I think that, again, people lose sight of the fact whatever regime is in charge is making the rules, right? And when people have had enough, they do something about it. You know, I mean, the governments, I don't care what government, our own government, you know, the British government, you know, France's government. Look what happened with the Yellow Vest movement, if you guys remember that. France, the government is doing some increase of something, and the people were like, screw you, no, you're not, we're not tolerating that, we're not going to have that. And what happened? They backed down. Because in France, how many times have they overthrown the governments in France? Quite a few times, okay? There's more of us than there are of them. And if we ever got organized as a group of people, which they don't ever want us to do, by the way, they don't want us to do that. So how do they stop us from getting together and organizing and coming together as human beings, right? Well, what they do is they keep the race baiting crap going on and keep people fighting over, you know, what color they are instead of the fact that we're all human beings. Um, Yeah, Israel will never let Iran go nuclear. You're right on that, Stephen. You're right on that, and they shouldn't, because Iran would use it. They would use it. So, but you know, again, it's those countries are not threats to us in any way, shape, or form. There's a lot of good people in those countries. A lot of good people in Iran. There's probably a lot of good people in North Korea. They're just under a leadership that is very controlling. Okay. Do you not think, right? I want you to think about this, guys. Is our government controlling? Are we not under the thumb of our government a lot? Think about it realistically. We are. We are so restricted, and it gets worse all the time because people just let it keep happening. They let it keep happening, you know, and they're not standing up and saying, hey, I'm not putting up with this crap anymore. And when people get in, have had enough, and it affects them directly. See, if it doesn't affect you directly, it's just like with the border thing. I want you to think about this. And why do you think that the Texas governor was shipping those people to Chicago, into New York City? And, you know, because they were like, oh, we're a sanctuary city. We love everybody and we're going to take care of everybody. Well, then they got overloaded. And then all of a sudden, no, we don't want anymore. Well, wait a minute. You guys were the ones that were loving everybody and wanted to have everybody there, right? So those are always interesting concepts to me. They love everybody and they want to bring them all in until they have to take care of them. Places like Arizona, California, you know, Texas, they've been inundated with these people. And, you know, it's just a lot of that crap went on them. And, you know, with the government tying the hands of the border control or border patrol and all those type of things, it's um, it's just a bad situation and it needs to get fixed. And I think that's another thing why Trump got overwhelmingly elected president. People were sick of the nonsense. They're just sick of it. The average American citizen, when they've had enough, they're going to do something. And you know, and that's what's going on. People have had enough, and they go, "Hey, we're not putting up with this crap. We've had enough." And the whole woke agenda with businesses, how'd that work out for them, right? How's that worked out for those businesses? A lot of businesses lost a lot of money. How'd that work out for Budweiser, right? I mean, think about it. And people didn't have to vote to make a difference. They just stopped buying the product. They were like, "Oh, you want to push that agenda on us? You know, we don't want that agenda." So 3D printer company has already started implementing the method to force their printers to report what is being printed on them to the government, man. Oh, it doesn't surprise me, Thomas. That wouldn't. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but it wouldn't surprise me. I'll just put it like that. So, but yeah, the whole woke agenda crap. I mean, you know what? So this here's another one, right? So everybody's like all up in arms about this one guy because he's got that one tattoo on his chest, right? Like with the cross and then the other whatever symbols that he has on there. And of course, they want to say he's a white supremacist, and so they're all up in arms about him being part of the government. But it's okay to have the Surgeon General be a dude that is transgender walking around in a dress, and then you had the other bald guy, but he got caught for shoplifting, I think, so he got booted out of there. But he was walking around, wearing lipstick and wearing a dress all the time, and he was just a weirdo. That one he wasn't transgender; he was just a weirdo. But those people are okay. We can have those people in office, but we don't want to have strong-willed, determined people, smart people in office. But yeah, it's just it's and again, luggage thief. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I knew he had gotten busted. So, but yeah, Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, no kidding. It's the insanity that they tried to push on us. People push back, and that's what it came down to, and that's why we're at where we're at. When the new administration comes in, let's see what they do. Here's my hope. Okay, my hope is that he does the things and is able to do the things that he said he was going to do. That's my hope. Remember, we have the House, the Senate, and Congress for the next 2 years at least. What's the score of the game? I know it was 21-10 at halftime. I got to look and see. I just got to. Oh, it's 21-19 now. That's not good. But the Bills are driving. Okay. So I got to root for the Bills. Now my Cowboys obviously didn't even make the playoffs. So, but oh, the old lady wears the beef. Oh my God, that was the best. Yep. I'm going to tell you what, things change. I'll tell you when things change, guys. Things changed in the 80s. Okay. The agenda on television changed. They were pushing what agenda they wanted to be pushed on. That's what changed in the 80s. It was bizarre how things went from traditional stuff to now you had to have like every group represented, in these commercials. And then they really pushed. And how many commercials did you see? Let me just ask you this. And like I said, I don't care who sleeps with who. I don't care who marries who. I don't. Okay. How many commercials? Well, I'll put it like this. Well, in commercials, how was the black man represented? Right? How was the black man represented in commercials? Suave, debonair, well spoken, well dressed. Right? And how was the white man represented in these commercials? Fat, dumpy, slovenly, poorly dressed, uneducated. That's how they started doing that, right? And you would see in these commercials, it would be the couple, the white woman and the black man. How many times did you see a white man with a black woman? You didn't see that, right? You didn't see that. So there was definitely agenda. And then, of course, the gay agenda, where they started showing either two moms or two dads or whatever, with the kids. And I mean, like I said, I don't care if gay couples have children. I don't. I think, it's they don't make their kids gay. Okay, it's not how it works. Okay, maybe they're making their kids be more open-minded. How terrible would that be, right? That they respect other people. Hello, hi. This is what she does. So, but it's I gave up television, guys, 10 years ago now. What? No, stop. Down, down. Good girl. I gave up television 10 years ago, and I don't miss it. The only thing I missed for a while was The Walking Dead. But guess what? I can watch all that on Netflix with no commercials. So That's perfectly fine with me. I'm okay with that. Um, I got so sick and tired of an hour show and there be 45 minutes of the show and 15 minutes of commercials. I just got tired of that. And then, like I said, it was nothing but crap on TV anyway, and you were paying outrageous amounts of money for cable. I will tell you what I did miss, okay? And I still miss them: the History Channel, the Discovery Channel, a lot of fascinating shows, um, on those. A lot of fascinating shows on those. And but when I moved from Greece, New York, to the property, the homestead up in New York, that's when I gave up TV. I gave away. Okay, thank you, JJ. Gave up all my TVs, gave them away, and have never had one since, and never will have one since. Have no desire to see any of that crap anymore. And I'm sure it hasn't gotten better. And then of course, then with every political season, you get inundated with all those political ads, and they're spending all kinds of money, on that. So, but yeah, like I said, I don't miss it. Facebook is now the new TikTok. They reopened up TikTok, EV3 Dale. It's already back. It was only off for a little bit, and then it's back. So, Dallas, Buffalo is playing Baltimore. They're in Buffalo. Oh, you're in Corning, New York? Yeah, I wasn't too far from Corning. About an hour from Corning, where I was up in New York. So, but yeah, like I said, and again, leaving New York and starting over down here, yeah, there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be things that are going to be. No, I just got her back in. So, yes, I did, didn't I? She just wants attention now. But yeah, I mean, the weather up there sucks so much, it's ridiculous. The taxes are outrageous in New York. The gun laws in New York absolutely suck because you have the political, the Democrats control everything. And so they make more and more and more stupid gun laws that don't help protect average citizen. It just helps the criminals because the criminals don't care about gun laws, right? I mean, like one of the things they have in New York is you can only have a 10-round magazine, but only 7 rounds in your magazine. I mean, it's just like, yeah, okay. They wanted people to get rid of all of their high capacity magazines once they put that in. If you had a 20 or a 30 or 40 round magazine for your rifles, you had to, get rid of them according to them. You had to register your rifles according to them. And so I'm not going to say if I did or didn't. Well, I never registered anything, to be honest with you. But, yeah, Baltimore uses the lotion or gets the hose again. Oh, my God, that's funny. So, but anyway, it's just, I am very hopeful that things are going to get better. And it's not going to happen overnight. But in that meantime, all right, I'm going to still continue to prep. I'm still going to continue to get ready because, once again, we hope for the best and we prepare for the worst. You can be hopeful that things are going to get better. No guarantee that things are going to get better. So it doesn't mean you stop prepping, just because now we got the new administration and once he's in and okay, now we can all sit back and rest because the next 4 years are going to be great and we can all sit around the fire singing kumbaya. Absolutely not. Um, this is a window of opportunity for people to get squared away. Okay, so that's the thing that needs to be done. Get your houses in order, man. Get your stuff squared away. Continue to prep. That's what we're going to do down here. I hopefully by the end of this year, everybody has their wood stoves in. Everybody's got their insulation in. They're stocked up well in their buildings, and we will continue to add to our group food down here, and we will continue to work on projects that we want to deem as important and stuff like that, and that's what we're going to do. We have a lot of plans, and it's realistically, how long will it take us to get to where we want to be down here? It'll take years. It'll take years, but every step that we make, everything that we do puts us that much closer to our goal. And the ultimate goal is to be self-sufficient. Something goes sideways, that we're able to take care of our business and be okay. That's the goal. To be as independent as we possibly can, to survive as long as we can, to be able to defend ourselves and the people that we care about. That's the goal. So what do you got? I'm going to ask one more time, guys. We got 513 in the chat. We're at 331 in the thumbs up. Let's see if we can get, before I jump off, let's see if we can hit 350 on the thumbs up. Ed, how old are you? In June of this year, I will be 60 years old in June. I have a lot of people that I work with, a lot of people that I meet say, oh my God, you don't look that age and you don't act that age. Because I don't. But it's just a number. I think your age is in here. If they say you're supposed to act a certain age at a certain point, it is what it is. But do I have aches and pains like other people? Yeah, bet I do. Some days I wake up and I feel every one of my 59 years. But, is that going to stop me? Are you going to put up a tall fence around your property electric? No, Marcy, no. No, I want the animals to be able to travel freely through like they're doing now. Things go sideways. Let's put it like this: if the world goes sideways, right, and it goes to complete crap, and we're all on our own, I would highly recommend not walking in my woods at that point, because it probably won't be safe. I'll just put it like that. So, it's actually, this got sent to me. Military. Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta Echo Foxtrot Golf Hotel India Juliet Kilo Lima Mike, and then November Oscar Papa Quebec Romeo Sierra Tango Uniform Victor Whiskey X-Ray Yankee and Zulu. So that's military stuff there, call signs. So anyway, guys, please be safe. Keep prepping. Keep taking care of your business. Yeah, ham radios. Yep, that's what you want to use those for. But keep getting your stuff squared away. It's not a time to sit back on our laurels and just go, everything is great and we're going to be okay. We need to be smart. Continue to prep, continue to get ready, do what you got to do, because, again, when that other shoe does drop, none of us are going to see it coming. It's not like it's going to be, okay, yeah, it's getting ready to happen. I think it's going to be a bang when it happens. And when that bang happens, again, remember this, and I've said this many, many times, you're going to have what you have. When the shoe drops and it's the end of what we have as our society, you're going to have what you have. And how long can you survive with what you have right now? That's what you got to think about. So continue to be safe, continue to prep. I will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. And thank you for the support, guys.